So what is the difference between this plain alif and this alif with a hamza sign over it or under it? This plain alif is the first alphabet of Arabic alphabets. When we don't have a haraka or wobble over it or under it, we call it simply as alif. But when we have a wobble over it or under it, in the case of fatha and dhamma, we have a wobble over this alif, and in the case of kasra, we have a wobble under this alif. Then we don't call it alif, instead we call it hamza. Let's look at some examples. An example of alif is alif itself. When we are reading alif as an alphabet, we are reading it as alif, as simple alif. Another example would be babun. Here you can see a red alif after ba. That's babun. It is not hamza, rather it is alif, because we don't have any vowel over it or under it. An example of hamza would be abun. Now in this example you can see that there is a fatha or a wobble over this alif. So we cannot call it alif, we would rather call it hamza. Another example is ithbatun, which means confirmation. Here you can see that there is a hamza, a tiny hamza sign under this alif. It is written here to show you that there is a kasra under this alif and that it is not the plain alif which you have read in the Arabic alphabets. So if you're looking at an alif which has a tiny hamza sign over it, you should understand that it is not the plain alif, but it is rather an alif with a haraka. The haraka is either fatha or dhamma. And if it is an alif with a tiny hamza under it, you should understand that this alif has a kasra under it. And therefore, you cannot call it alif, but you will call it hamza.